welcome back to Copper Kettle Farms. I'm Crystal.
And I'm Donald.
And we are doing another collaboration that was issued by Royal Amethyst Acres.
Why are you laughing at me?
Because you're weird. And it makes me laugh how weird you are. Mandy over at Royal Amethyst Acres did a thing called Vision 2020. And it was 20 things that, and not necessarily homestead related, but that you wanted to accomplish or goals that you had in 2020. I think a lot of people are doing this 2020, like using it for, all right, this is the year we're going to accomplish goals or set goals or prepare these goals. So it's a neat play on the words. So we sat down, figured out 20 things that either I want to, he wants to, or us together want to accomplish this year. Even if we just start it, because there's some of them are big. So we'll see how we do. And of course, we'll document it on our channel. So we hope that you will subscribe. That little red subscribe button doesn't cost you anything, but it helps us out. And if you hit that little bell, that lets you be notified whenever we put out a new video, if you happen to find us interesting. So we will start with number 1.
And honestly, just hit it anyway. Even if you don't find us interesting,
just hit it anyway.
Just hit it anyway.
Yeah. It's the American thing to do.
Yeah.
Number 1, this is for both of us, big time. And this is a goal we've had for a while, but this year I think we've made a plan to make this happen. And that is for both of us to lose weight and get into shape. We don't expect it to come full circle this year, but I think we can make a huge dent into it. And we want to do kind of what's called farm workouts. Because I lost a lot of weight just by doing the treadmill, but I was miserable. Like I lost 100 pounds doing that. But we have a lot of stuff to do on the farm. And I feel better working out if I'm actually accomplishing something while doing it. So whether it's chopping wood or even just going for a hike and getting to know the land and harvesting and like grabbing wild things from the woods, tearing down chicken coops.
She's a very use your time for productivity kind of person. So if you could do 2 things at the same time,
I'm all about it.
To accomplish, or do one thing rather, let me phrase it. If you can do one thing that accomplishes 2 things,
that's what I like to do.
So if you can move hay bales because they have to be moved,
it's a good workout.
It's a good workout.
That day recently, which was in one of our recent videos where we moved all that wood for the chicken coop, that
was a workout.
That was a workout. But yeah, I have to feel productive, and I don't feel like running on a treadmill is productive. So for me, if it works for other people, great. But my mind has to be accomplishing or meeting a goal, and I don't see immediate results. And I think that's my problem if I'm just running on a treadmill.
Number 2,
reduce debt.
Reduce debt.
Me being self-employed, sometimes, the money is like this. I'm either getting a lot of money or I'm getting no money. And it's difficult to maintain regular financial situations. So the goal is to reduce debt this year, which will also be addressed in some of these other... Well, actually, the next one is to double my business income with my company, Misfit Interactive.
Which will help reduce debt.
So I have to bring in more money. He has a phenomenal job, phenomenal benefits. Me being self-employed, I need to get a more regular income to help with that. So that's 2 goals knocked out right there.
Number 3. Oh, no, that was number 3. Number 4.
This works towards it too. We want to start at least 2 forms of passive income. For those of you that aren't sure what passive income is, it's basically setting up a type of business that you don't have to do a lot, but brings in some form of income. I've kind of started that with a local blog that I run called 𝙎𝙃𝙊𝙋, where people can sponsor posts, and it has like an online business directory for here in Adams County. So it's getting there, but there's other business ideas that we want to start as a form of passive income that we can still do while doing our full-time jobs and the homestead. So that's a goal this year. What's next?
Number 5. Bees.
Still want to do bees. Still hoping we can do it by spring.
We might not be able to do it, but we're still hopeful.
Yeah, we're still hopeful. It depends on finances, honestly.
Finances, and we have a lot of projects already set up.
The greenhouse is definitely number one right now.
So it might be pushed back to maybe even next year, but we're going to try for this year.
Yeah. So bees are still a huge thing we want to do.
Speaking of which, number 6.
The greenhouse. This has to get done within the next month or two because we need a place to put all of these plants that we've just planted. And we have most of the windows we need. I have to talk to my client that does the window replacement, see if he's got any more. And then it's just figuring out how to build it so that it's structurally sound, that it looks nice.
I'm just going to put them together. See what happens.
Yeah, but we're still going to make it look nice.
Sure.
So greenhouse is our next big project now that the chicken coop's done.
Efficiency is priority number 1. Looks a distant second.
It's going to look nice. Number
You know
7.
who's building this, right?
Yeah, you know who wants it, right?
How can you argue with that? That's the constant battle right there. With any couple.
Yes, it's true. I mean, I'll help. I'll be helping.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
Okay. Next.
Ugh.
Oh, yeah.
Completely restructure the structures.
Restructure the structures.
All the outbuildings.
We've done the chicken coop. Well, aside from the roof, we got to finish that.
Yeah.
But the goat house, where the rabbits are, where Dad's chickens were, even where the meat chickens are going to be, there's certain things we're going to have to either replace all of that, or at least where the meat chickens are going to be, fix like a new roof on it. But we're restructuring all of the outbuilding structures except for the garage. And that it will require exercise and tearing a lot of stuff down. Demo day.
Number 8.
Double our garden planting.
Because we got the double garden size.
Yep. Dad has decided, because we always have to put garden space with Dad, he could do his traditional plow, manure, rows within clay soil, and it did not work well at all. And I think he's just realized that he's at the age where he can't be doing all of that gardening. So we're getting his space. We're redoing it, actually building soil and building it in a permaculture type fashion through hugelculture. Multiple types of gardening. And we're still going to grow everything that Dad wants. We sat down with him and we worked on a list together as a family of what we wanted to eat and consume and grow this year so that he could still feel a part of the garden, which I think is very important when you have a parent that lives with you who's disabled or older. So, double garden.
Number 9.
Consume more from the land. So obviously, this is a huge part of what Copper Kettle Farms is. It's even in our logo, living sustainably on the Mason-Dixon. We are pretty much right on the Mason-Dixon here, and we've always wanted to be able to live off the fat of the land. If you've ever read of Mice and Men, being able to be that self-sustaining where you don't have to depend on outside sources is huge in the homesteading community. I can't imagine there's a homestead out there that we know of that doesn't have the same goal. So definitely a big part of ours. What?
No, I'm just agreeing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. We won't be able to do all of that here. It'll have to be in another property.
But we can do as much as we can here.
Well, yeah, I was literally about to say that.
So we're going to eat as much as we can off the
We're
land.
going to eat as much as we can off the land here while we're here. Did you just run?
I did just run my eyes at you. Number 10, get to know more homesteaders. We've met so many cool people, and it seems like every week we're meeting a new homestead that we love watching, and it just feels like an extended part of family. And the fact that, some of us don't even like our extended family, so to have homestead extended family that we actually like is very important to me and very important part of the community. So
Number 11.
manage time better. This is a big one for me because being a business owner, being on the board for 2 nonprofits, I unfortunately stepped down from a third last year, running 2 religious groups, all the business networking I have to do with. As a business owner, you're literally the salesman, the president, the worker, HR, you're everything. I need to learn to manage my time better. And part of that is going to be learning to say no more. No more free stuff. And putting everything or saying no to everything that does not put me towards my goals, essentially. So,
Number 12.
purge junk. I don't know why you wrote that other part there.
Not my job.
We should purge your
No,
junk.
no.
So there's just a lot of random stuff, especially in the basement. Just random furniture, jars. There's stuff up in the office. There's probably stuff in the bedroom, like excess amount of candles that are like 20 years old. Just stuff that we don't need. I've done most of the living room, thankfully. I think I've got like one cabinet I got to do yet.
Oh, monsters are showing. I think people are going to be staring and not paying attention. Sorry.
So purging the weird shit is where I was going with that.
Purging the things that we don't use a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, if there's something that we have that sits on a shelf for 4 years,
Why do we have it?
why do we have it? If we're not using it, it's
Except
just
for
sitting.
books.
Other than books, I mean books, but books, they don't sit there. They go back there.
Yeah.
They get removed, looked at, read through, put back. But if there's something that just sits there,
Yeah. So a lot of purging.
you know. 13.
Build and sell more products.
So I put this down as an option, as a goal, because I like building things. I'm not good at it. I'm decent. But I love Pinterest. I'm sorry, but Pinterest is pretty awesome.
I love Pinterest.
There's a lot of things that you can build, which is 2x4s, and sell.
So make a decent profit on it.
And make a good profit. I mean, 2x4s are going up in price, but I can, you know, if you have the knowledge to build it, to buy the materials and build it, and sell it for three to four times the price of building it, why can you not? You know, why not make that a profit?
Yeah.
Or another stream of income on the homestead. Now that goes to what I was saying earlier. You can't really. It's not really living sustainably because you're not
producing the wood yourself.
Producing the wood yourself if you're on an acre, and obviously you're not producing the nails and all that yourself. But that's just another thing that we could do to bring in more money on that. Yeah.
Next is to build up Mason-Dixon compost. So if you weren't aware, and this could have been a random fact now that I think about it, we are starting a business called Mason-Dixon Compost. And essentially it is a business where we drop off buckets to residents to put their scraps in. Or commercial. To put their scraps in. We pick it up once a week, replace the bucket. We use the scraps to feed our chickens, eventually our hogs.
Scraps like as in food scraps.
Food scraps.
Your food waste.
It's
basically, it's a kind of like a curbside pickup kind of thing.
Curbside composting.
The main purpose of it is to reduce landfill. Can't think of the word, I just went blank. Basically, it's to reduce people's input into the landfill.
Yeah.
Because
it creates an anaerobic.
No. Well, yeah, I won't go into all of that.
Oh, okay.
It's to help reduce the landfill, reduce greenhouse gases, specifically methane, because it's a large amount of methane. And we take that, feed it to our chickens.
Make compost.
Well, that reduces our feed cost for chickens.
Mm-hmm.
And then the chickens turn it into compost. Now, it's iffy because it's not hot compost the way we're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But then I will set it up again to finish hot composting. The difference with non-hot compost and hot compost gets rid of your pathogens as long as you have it hot enough. Mm-hmm. You can still have compost, aerobic compost, anaerobic compost. I don't like aerobic compost. Without it being hot, it still breaks down, and you still have the microorganisms, but they're not. It doesn't kill the pathogens. That's specifically what a hot compost is for. So that's what I wanted. Where we started. What are you smiling?
Because you always geek out about compost and anaerobic and microbes and pathogens
You got me talking.
nematodes.
Oh, you slide dog. You got me monologuing.
Next on the list, the 𝙎,
Fetch.
which we talked about. Did we talk about that on our bucket list?
I'm not sure if we did or not. I know we talked about it on one of the videos.
So we want a 𝙎, and we're going to put a lot of effort in that this year because it's helped to provide a little bit of a privacy screen from the road because we're so close to the road. Additional ability to have food, grow food, not lawns, and
That's it.
that's really it. Food and privacy, and maybe noise reduction.
But windbreak.
Mm-hmm.
The diversity also helps build your soil better.
Mm-hmm. And 𝙎 is basically like a food hedge.
Yeah, it's a hedge where the idea of it is everything is beneficial to either food or bring in beneficial insects to pollinate.
Yeah.
Or animal habitat for birds.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
Number 16, to reorganize and catalog our books.
So one of the issues I have is when we go to Tractor Supply, we go to the book section.
All the time.
All the time. And now that we have a lot of books, I mean, we probably have 200 books, 150, 200 books. Do we have this one? I don't know. Do we have this one?
Might be 500.
Yeah, it's a lot of books. So we're going to catalog them and put them on Drive.
Probably a spreadsheet on Google Drive. I did have a library software. I have to see if I still have it. That you can put the ISBN number in. It tells you the cost. All kinds of cool stuff about it. We'll see.
So that was one of the issues, and reorganizing because we got some over here, we got some over here, we got some up there.
I found some in.
We got some right here in this.
There's some in the bathroom.
Table.
There's some in the coffee table. They're just weirdly strewn about. So, number 17, we would like to breed our goats.
I think we're definitely ready. We've had the goats for over a year.
Yeah, we just need to build a shelter for baby goats
when
they're
once
born.
the shelter is finished.
And 2, I need to educate myself more on kidding because while we have the basic of goat care established, we don't have any idea about kidding. So I'm going to be educating myself on that while you're building the structure for baby goats.
And then we're going to have baby goats, and she's going to cry.
I will cry. I will love them and cuddle them and never ever get any work done ever again.
Yeah.
So, all right. Number 18, cut out artificial sweeteners. This one is very important in general for helping with the weight loss, to eliminate the dependency on sugars. We do a lot of Mios right now, and we need to break our habit of that, which we actually meant to go out and get some today.
But this is helping us break the habit of that.
Yeah, while you drink soda.
Throw me out there like that.
Well, we'll still have honey. Like, we still want to have honey. But, and I mean, sugar is what cancer feeds off of. So, it's just better all around. Sugar's an addiction, and I think it's important. And honestly, sugar masks your taste buds so much that people just don't understand how good fresh fruit and vegetables are because they can't taste it. So
we learned that doing the Whole30, and then it's really hard in this day and age to stay like that.
Yeah, because everything has sugar.
That blew my mind. We could only find one type of bacon that did not have sugar.
Yeah,
and we scoured.
Yeah.
And actually, I don't even think they sell that anymore. I think that company actually started adding sugar.
We'll have to research that. I've never heard that, so.
Just believe me.
No.
No.
So yeah, we're going to try to cut out a lot of sugar this year. 19. Why did you spell it like that?
Because I'm an idiot. I was in a rush.
I want to write a book this
Why'd you
year.
even bring that up? You knew what I meant.
So I keep a list of book ideas that I come up with. And I think I'm up to like 23.
27.
In the 20s.
32.
Shut up. of different book ideas that I want to write. And some of them are reference material, garden related. Some of them are fiction. Some are even like a sci-fi fiction, which is completely weird for me, but
All the books.
I want to write at least one of them. And actually, I might do that hashtag one too that I want to do. So I would like to write a book, get it out there, and if it goes well, I'll determine whether I want to continue with the other 20-some books. If I decide I really hate writing books, at least I'll know. But that would also be a potential form of passive income.
Oh, you beat me to it. I was going to throw that out there.
We got a psychic link going on.
We do.
Last one. That one's for me too, isn't it?
I think it's for both of us.
Yeah. Continuing education, especially in my field, web design, marketing, SEO is constantly changing. As Google algorithms change, as Facebook algorithms change, as web design trends change, as even things in gardening that we find, things in education, things in composting change. We want to be able to continue our education and just always be learning.
Even in my field,
Wastewater.
which is wastewater. Do you know how often people learn how to clean poop better? Often. A lot. And it's getting so technical, it's actually starting to require degrees for you to go to college to learn how to do it.
Yeah. So, and I mean, there's so many sources out there, especially with the internet this day and age, that you can learn to do anything. And if we can learn to do something that'll benefit either our jobs between marketing and wastewater, or the farm, or homesteading, self-sufficiency, even like preparing for, I don't want to say prepping, but in a way, like it would behoove all of us to learn basic first aid and, you know, be as independent as possible. So that's another goal in 2020, is to be as educated as we can about the things that are important to us. So that's our vision for 2020. Obviously, some of these are ongoing. The health is going to be ongoing. The educating is going to be constant. It's not just 2020. The educating and health is for the rest of our lives. But we hope you guys enjoy. Maybe you got some ideas.
Yep.
I think as far as who we want to tag to do this, I'm going to tag Brian Loess, Loess. I never know how to say his last name. His channel to see what his vision is for 2020. And I think I'm going to go ahead and tag Bridge Life, because he's a newer channel that I discovered. He's not new. He's like 600 subscribers or something. But
Newer channel to you.
Newer channel to me. He's really funny. He's got an amazing video presence. He was on my live last night. And I'd like to see what his goals are for 2020. So I'm Crystal.
And I'm Donald.
And we are Copper Kettle Farms.
Yes, we are.